Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, we'll be talking about all of the camera gear I use to film my videos. Let's get into it. To start out the video, I'll just go through a typical day of shooting a vlog for a paintball video. When I'm at a tournament, it's just a little bit different. I get one extra camera, and that's from Goofy typically, but we'll dive into that later in the video. First, we get started with the Pocket Cam. This is the Osmo Pocket 3. This is a solid camera. I highly recommend it. I'm a big fan of the DJI environment. I think it's kind of like Apple where everything works together really nicely. So you can see I got the mic on right now. The nice thing about that is it connects to this camera. It connects to the Action 5, which is what I use as my barrel cam. It makes my workflows really easy. I'm not having to add it in post and try to mess with it there. I rock I'm not sure what this is called, but there is a magnetic clip thing that goes on the back so you can put it on metal things and film from there. It's always really helpful to get additional angles. That's why I have the tripod. This is the Insta360, so it is not DJI, but I highly recommend it. It's a solid tripod, works well. It extends up nicely. It's not the tallest tripod, but I mean, it's a decent height for filming and it works well for what I do. And then also I use this to jam it in between my car seat to get those vlog style shots in the car. So in addition to this setup, I have the extended battery that just helps with the battery life. This is a small camera. I don't think the battery life is very good on it, especially if you're shooting like a long full day vlog. So definitely recommend going with the battery. One other thing I'd like to mention about this camera, I primarily bought it to kind of track myself because it does have this face tracking feature. So I can lock onto my face or an object and the camera will stay locked on. As you can see in the video, it's locked onto my face. This was a thought that I had that I would be able to set this up on the sideline and be able to record myself. It's kind of difficult at such a far distance, and the camera getting shot on the sideline is definitely something I'm worried about. It took me a long time to replace the mic on the last one, so I'm definitely kind of cautious with this and kind of just use it for vlog style stuff. I highly recommend adding it to your gear bag of camera equipment. This is typically what you'll see as my main camera equipment setup bag. So I typically bring this around and it's got all the different stuff I have, all the different tools I need. Looks like the Pocket Cam was on, or the Action Cam, sorry. Very confusing with all these names. Real quick, we'll put this stuff aside, dive into this. This is the DJI Mic 2, I believe. Super solid mic setup. Right now I'm using it, so it's not all in there. But I highly recommend it. Like I said, it connects to your Pocket Cam, your Action Cam, so it makes it really seamless when you're editing your videos later on, and it's all about making content quickly these days. So however you can simplify that, recommend it. In here I've got some accessories for the Pocket Cam. This is just a mount for camera threads. I've got a dead cat, 2 dead cats actually. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the mic. I only use this to get audio if my mics are broken on the cameras. Typically my mics pick up the audio and I don't need to add an additional mic, but for something like this I might do it. But I can also film mic'd up videos, which would be kind of cool. I've done that in the past, but as you've seen in my recent videos, the new DJI Action Cam actually picks up audio really well. I haven't needed to add a mic, and I prefer this audio from this camera in the tournament videos, so you'll see. Hey, 400! Hey, 400! The only issue is sometimes it gets shot and then paint gets in the mics and the audio just goes to crap. So that's when I revert back to sideline audio. That's essentially it as far as audio. Moving on to the barrel cam footage. So everybody always asks, what are you using to film your clips? it is these right here. This is the DJI Action 3 and DJI Action 5. These two cams have been super solid and I have no complaints. I've had GoPros in the past. I think my last one was like a Hero 3, so it's been a while, but I really like how all this stuff works together, and that's why I kind of stick with DJI. That's kind of what's going on with it. This is my original Pocket 3. The door is broken, so this is probably not waterproof anymore. I gotta be really careful about that. I would like to say that this is possibly a better camera because you can see when I turn them both on, this screen works and this one doesn't. So the larger screen on the front side of this camera does allow it to get broken easier. That would be my heads up if you go and buy the Action Cam 5. I definitely recommend it. Maybe there's some sort of protector thing in front that you can add, but like you can see it's on, but you have no clue of seeing from the front because it got blasted. It's not really a huge deal for me. I'm not really looking at that camera often, but it is nice to be able to see it. One thing I just noticed too, this camera has an LED on the front, which would be super helpful if this one had it, so I can know when it's on. But yeah, highly recommend these. They do come with like a little cage and you can mount it vertically with that cage, but most of my clips are horizontal and they're sitting on my barrel horizontally, so that's kind of the way I rock it. Another thing I'd like to mention about this camera is, yes, it is a barrel cam, but the nice thing about how easy it comes on and off, when you're out on the field at practice or something like that, and you and your team are having a nice discussion or something, you want to get some extra footage, go ahead, take it off, set it up, record, and you've got some extra angles. This is actually 4K, 120 frames a second, so really good footage. The barrel mount I got on here is the Inceptions Designs barrel mount with the small rig Action Cam mount. So this is metal, it's got the magnets in it, so it connects super nice, doesn't come off. And then, yeah, it just stays on the barrel. It doesn't really move around. I think it just loosened the threads, yeah. It doesn't move around or anything. It's locked into place pretty nicely, and I never have issues. Sometimes it'll loosen the barrel if I snap, but it looks like I'm missing an O-ring, so that might solve that issue. I also carry a spare battery. This one has a battery in it too, so that would be 2 spare batteries right there if I need it for the Action Cam, and then also having a big memory card helps you not have to worry about swapping out cards throughout the day. This one's got a 256, and I think this one's like 120 or something like that. I was 64, so this will actually run out pretty quickly. I don't typically use this camera very often, so this is just extra. I shoot in D-Log and then edit it in post. I think it's a little bit harder to edit. Sometimes it's worth it. I don't know, you let me know. What do you think of my color editing skills? Leave a comment down below. You can roast me, go for it. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the homie Goofy. Goofy is a solid media videographer for the SoCal area. He also travels to the NXL. If you are going to any of the NXLs, definitely hit him up. He's got great prices. He does great work. I highly recommend him. Anyways, yeah, he shoots for me on the sidelines. He uses a DSLR, I'm not sure if the brand. He always provides me with high quality clip, and I use those as like the primary footage for my tournament videos. So those are super high quality, and then the barrel cam footage is just like extra to break it up. It's not something I would primarily video with, and I am definitely working on trying to make it more exciting. Definitely can capture some cool clips with the barrel cam, but if you want to get quality content, I highly recommend somebody to film on the sidelines and somebody who knows what they're doing. So shout out Goofy, I appreciate you and all the work that you do with me. Yo, what's going on? Real quick, just editing this video. I forgot to mention some key points that I wanted to bring up. And that would be the importance of filming yourself and watching your footage, watching tape. It's something I've always done growing up in sports. Growing up playing football, we always would get together after a game and watch footage and kind of go over play by play what happened. So every time I edit one of these videos, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going through, I'm remembering what happened and kind of what went wrong and stuff. So I'm just kind of doing like mental reps while I'm editing these videos. You don't need to make YouTube videos with it, but I mean, it's just kind of like a dash cam for your car. Being able to go back and review things is always cool. If you get a cool clip, that's awesome. And if you want to see what happened, or maybe you missed somebody moving in front of you or something like that, great way to capture it using a barrel cam. It's not the funnest to watch, but it is good to get those mental reps and to kind of see the field from the barrel every once in a while. So And one last thing I'd like to mention, all these products that I'm talking about today in this video are linked in my Amazon. So go check the link in the description. If you decide to purchase something, please use that link. I get a little kickback, it helps me out. And yeah, it kind of just helps fund this kind of activities and stuff like that. All right, that's it. Thank you, back to the video. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. That's all the camera gear I use right now. And I'm sure there's other stuff I can add to my fleet, but this is what I use currently. I've thought about switching up the angles and stuff, but honestly, if you're gonna be filming, the primary should be the sideline footage. That is the crispiest, the quality is best. Angles are always tough when videographers are getting shot. So shout out to you guys for being on the sideline. You guys are the best. If you made it to this point in the video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It helps me out a ton. We'll catch you in the next one.